Welcome to Getting Neighborly in Fairview, Texas, the official community podcast for the Town of Fairview, hosted by the Fairview Economic Development Corporation. On every episode, we spend time getting to know our neighbors and hearing the stories that make our town a community. This is Getting Neighborly in Fairview, Texas.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our latest episode of Getting Neighborly in the Town of Fairview. I am pleased to be joined today by Mr. Bill Baxter, and being an employee at Heritage Ranch for the last 14 years, I've gotten to know Bill for the last 14 years, although you've been a resident out there a little bit longer than that. Yeah. Bill actually wears many hats in the town, and we're going to kind of touch base on some of them and how it relates to the town of Fairview. So first of all, want to kind of go back to your time at Heritage Ranch and what brought you to Fairview and Heritage Ranch.
Well, we lived on the outskirts of Fairview for the longest time, and I kept telling my wife I wanted to move to Fairview, and it took me about 2 or 3 years to get there, but we saw the beautiful subdivision of Heritage Ranch going up and decided to go there. It's a good deal.
And I do have to say he has one of the nicer properties on the community. He's right at the cart path on hole number 9, about halfway through the hole. It's got a nice corner lot there. It's pretty awesome. I would always see your dog running around the property there. Yep. It's whenever you're playing hole number 9 at Heritage Ranch, that was always a nice little thing to see. Besides living at Heritage Ranch, you do work in the town of Fairview. Mm-hmm. And if I'm going to try to get his position right, it's the IT consultant.
Yes,
for the town of Fairview?
Yes, we're consultants to the town of Fairview for their IT department. We take care of all of their servers and computers and infrastructure, wiring, network, and security systems, physical security systems, and also card access systems, cameras, and such.
And how long have you been doing that for?
Since 1999 or very early 2000, before Fairview had a network.
Well, and I was going to kind of lead into the fact that as you've seen, Fairview basically grow up from dirt. Yeah. What is your opinion as where it was back in 99 to where it is today, 20 years later?
I think the thing I'm most impressed with is the smart decisions the city government has made over the last 20 years to get Fairview positioned where it's at today. I think that every decision they've made along the way has been great for the town, and I'm thrilled as ever to continue to live here.
Well, now I want to touch base on probably your most passionate thing, and that's working with the town fire department. And your position now is the chairman or the president of the Friends of Fairview Fire Department Committee. Yeah. Why don't you tell everybody exactly what they're responsible for?
Well, the Friends of Fairview Firefighters Association is an organization. It's a 501c.
501c3.
Yeah, get those numbers right.
I always get those numbers and letters switched around, but
yeah. Dedicated to the health and well-being of our Fairview firefighters, and we do fundraising activities to bring money in so that we can distribute them out to our programs that benefit our firefighters.
And what are some of those programs?
We have the Firefighters Appreciation Dinner that we put on every year. We put on the community pancake breakfast twice a year. We have an equipment budget where we will purchase equipment, expensive equipment for the fire station and the firefighters that is sometimes not affordable or not in the budget for a town, and we'll save our money to have those big purchases as well. And
what kind of fundraisers do you do in order to raise the money for this?
We put out American flags, so and that is quite a passion because we put out flags 7 holidays a year, President's Day through Veterans Day, and it's a joy to go see the flags up. We put out over 700 flags across the entire town, and I get excited every time I do it. Even though it's a lot of hard work, I love it.
I was going to say it is hard work because tell everybody exactly how you go from, somebody wants to order a flag from you to it actually getting put in?
Well, of course, folks can subscribe online, or they can write a check and give us a check. And once that's done, then we've got to go out and drill a sleeve in their yard and hope to God we miss the sprinkler system. Once in a while we hit the sprinkler system and we got to repair that, but I've got the repair tools in the back of my truck for that as well. But after putting in the sleeve, then we get them put into our database so we can manage all the subscribers and make sure we get the flags into the correct location, and then go do the work with our trucks and put out the flags.
And how long does it usually take in order to get the first flag in until the last flag's in during these the holiday periods?
Well, we have such a large large subscriber base with over 700 flags now that we have 12 teams, most of them volunteers. We do pay the Girl Scouts to help us out with putting in the flags, and they put out over 200 flags in our area as well.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're great to work with as well. So with those 12 teams, it takes about 2 days to get the flags out.
That's not bad at all.
In all types of conditions.
Yes.
Even today, where it's 23 degrees outside and we've got our gloves on and we're pulling the flags out now. So.
And they're not frozen in the sleeves or anything like that?
Yeah, I did pull a sleeve out. Yeah, it was frozen together.
It's tough. You never know what kind of weather we're going to get around these holidays, and I know, especially putting them in, if you're doing it in the middle of the summer, that ground's pretty hard. So you must have a pretty good auger in order to get down there.
Yeah, one of the challenges is we can't find the sleeve. Either the grass has grown over it, or the folks have resodded their yard, or it's been pushed down for whatever reason, and we get a lot of that.
Awesome. Yeah. So what other things are you passionate about in the town of Fairview?
Well, technology. I'm also chairman of the Fairview Technology Committee, and we are working diligently to work with the service providers that service the town of Fairview to improve the internet speeds and the reliability in Fairview. There's lots of areas within Fairview that don't have good internet speeds, and we're working with the internet service providers to improve that.
How many providers are there out in this area?
There's 4 or 5 major ones. Okay. And there's some small offshoots, but yeah.
And what can be done in order to improve speed? Because I think a lot of us are victims of of speed,
reliability and speed,
exactly,
and losing service and such. Yeah. There's not a one great answer for that. It's going to take a combination of a lot of work and a lot of heads together to figure out the best solution. 5G is coming in, but that's not a great solution for the town of Fairview because the antennas have to be close, within 300 yards of the house, and that's not possible for 2-acre lots and large lots that we have in Fairview.
So in other words, in order to get the 5G, you actually have to have an antenna that's going to catch that signal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to have a 5G antenna, and that antenna has got to be close to the house, which isn't always. So it's going to be a combination of solutions to get there. Satellites coming in, or low orbiting satellites is coming in over the next couple of years, which will help. 5G will help. One of the great things about 5G is that, in fact, we have it here at the mall. Here we have 5G at the mall, and one thing, the benefit of that is that by all of the apartments and folks that are connecting up to this 5G antenna takes the workload off the 4G antennas.
Oh, wow.
So that more folks around the rest of the town can connect up and not lose service or slow down their service, because this 5G is now servicing so many people right here on Highway 5.
That's amazing.
So as more 5G antennas go in, it'll take the more load off the 4G, which will improve the service.
So
for everybody.
You're asking,
even though it's not a direct benefit, it'll
as a byproduct,
everybody.
it will be, sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I do want to touch on another thing that I know you're passionate about. Okay. That's your running.
Yeah.
We've both entered the Fairview 5K, half marathon. Have you done the half yet, or it's just?
Yeah, I've done it 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Fairview does 2 5Ks a year, usually April and October.
Yep.
How many have you done so far in this town?
I've done it every year since they've started it.
Wow.
And I love it.
That's
So it's not for me. It's not just running. I enjoy running. My passion is triathlons. So it's the 3 events with running, cycling, and swimming, and that's what keeps my body healthy.
And what's the longest triathlon that you've done? Because I know everybody, when they think of a triathlon, it's like it's the Ironman, and you're going to swim.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but
So I typically do sprints, sprint triathlons, which is a 1 mile swim, a 10K run, and a 50-mile bike.
That's a sprint.
And there's one I did in Palm Springs that was 2 10Ks with a 50-mile bike ride in between.
Wow.
So
that's amazing.
But I'll tell you, the Fairview half is tough.
It's tough. You're going up and down hills. And there's some times that you're in the middle of the run, and all of a sudden you got this hill. It's like, I'm not ready for this hill right now. It's put in almost they laid it out the wrong direction. It's like, I want to be going downhill at mile 8 or 9, not going uphill.
I know. I remember running around a corner once, and it was at the 10-mile marker. And there was a sign right next to the 10-mile marker that says, if this was easy, they'd call it CrossFit.
Well, I've never been a CrossFit fan either, and that's just I don't know. My whole thing is I love to run, and that's
like to run. Yeah.
That's only been over the last like 5 years or so. There has been a time in my life that I'd break a sweat if I saw somebody running down my road, but now that's me. I'm the one doing it. But I never really got into lifting weights as much. It's really the running. I'm a visual person. I need to be out there looking at stuff, and when you're running the back streets of Fairview, there's a lot to look at. There's a lot to see.
It's so beautiful in Fairview.
It really is.
It is.
So. This is 2019. You've been here for 20 years. What's your envision for the next 20 years here for Fairview?
I think the growth that is coming will benefit the town, especially all the growth right here by 75. I think it's all positive for the town. The interior of Fairview, most of it's already taken up with buildings on it.
Right.
So I think things will kind of stay the same.
Well, and we've been talking in previous podcasts about the balance of, having a little bit of the city feel, but keeping it country. And at the end of the day, that's what Fairview is we really want to make sure that it keeps that town home type of atmosphere. When
you cross into the interior of Fairview, you feel like you're in the country. I feel like I'm in the country.
I do too, and one of the things that I benefit from, I do not live in Fairview, but I feel like I live here because I've been working here for over 14 years, and I can get from my house where I'm at to Fairview without actually going on a highway, which is a great feeling.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of the nice things about this area is you can get from one place to the other, get there in a short amount of time, and not have to worry about the rat race of Highway 75 or 121. But saying that, that's a great area to develop in, where we're hoping to get a lot of businesses and corporations to come in because we want that to infuse revenue into this area so it can stay country on this side.
Yeah, I think it's a great combination. One of the things I love to do is when folks fly into McKinney Airport, I'll take them the back route through Orr Road.
Absolutely.
And they have no idea where they're at. I mean, it's landing at this airport and then going through the absolute 100% country for about 5 miles.
Yes, yeah. And it's nice that that all borders Fairview, like the outskirts of Fairview. You can travel all the way around Fairview without actually even going on Stacy Road or whatever and get from one end to the other. And it's just absolutely large land plots, beautiful houses. You might see the random wild animal out there. You never know.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Which we see all the time.
We do see all the time, absolutely. Well, I'm going to say thank you very much for joining us. It's a pleasure to have your wealth of knowledge in our town. I know over the years it's been needed, and they couldn't have found a better person to do that. And as far as your work with the fire department, it's invaluable. And I know our homeowners at Heritage Ranch appreciate that because they're out at the club more often than not, and so we appreciate what they do, and for what you're doing for them, I appreciate that, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Eric. I appreciate it.
All right, and I want to also thank Killarney's in Fairview for allowing us to video and tape this podcast. If you're ever in the Fairview area and you want to come out and listen to some live music, you have a favorite football team you want to root for, plenty of TVs here, trivia on Tuesday nights, Killarney's is the place to be.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Getting Neighborly in Fairview, Texas. If you're a business owner interested in calling Fairview home, contact our office by email at edc@fairviewtexas.org or visit us on the web at fairviewtexasedc.com. And if you're a resident and you know someone we should hear from, nominate them at fairviewtexasedc.com/neighbors.